Welcome into the Dice Dragons Guild. In this hall, we unite under one banner. Live by the die.
Die by the die.
Oh, that's a one.
Yeah,
That was
good.
Yes.
Whoa. When last we left off, our adventurers had begun their first day of travel into the sleeping wilds in search of an individual who would potentially be able to help them understand what has happened to the monkey guardians of Yamari Island. Entering into the jungles only minutes into your trek, a familiar face followed you. Felicia, a humble baker from Kethra's past, revealed that she was here to bring Kethra home. The group convinced her to leave empty-handed, and Kethra shared a little bit more about her past. Continuing on, the group eventually came to the Baina River and a splitting of the party, which unfortunately resulted in Kethra, Kai, and Eldon on one side pitted against a giant rat abomination, with Ayla and Iolite on the other side, with Kaylin
Picking shells and shiny rocks.
struggling to row her way back across.
Collecting sea glass.
And so that's where we rejoin you, as Kaylin is like going across the river as fast as she can, aided by this leather strip that ties her to the rope that is tied on either end of the river. What are you all doing? Besides catching your breath and looking at the melting form of this abomination rat creature created from the...
Where's the wolf?
No
There's
wolf
no
anymore.
in our minds.
He's gonna
Jesus.
use false life on himself to kind of piece himself a little bit back together.
Okay.
I'm just taking my water canteen and trying to rinse the nasty ass taste out of my mouth.
Are you converting back to your
Yes.
human form? Okay, so you see Kethra just shift back in. Nyx coming to join at her feet.
Are you all right?
Let me see my jungle noise.
What the hell was that thing?
I'm not quite sure. I've never seen anything like that before.
What about you? Have you ever seen anything like that?
No.
I inspect the remains, I guess would be the right word.
Sure. Make an investigation check.
Just a straight 7.
Okay. Kind of like pick through the remains there, and all you really see are like chunks and pieces of the little rats. There's strange like green goo and like a very unpleasant like putrid smell that's coming up from it. But
Are there any big teeth from the big rat?
there are the two big incisors. Yeah, they're probably like 6.
Can I pick
6
them
to
up?
8. Yeah,
They're all gross.
they're pretty nasty.
I'm gonna rinse them in the river.
Okay.
Further
Really
contaminating the water.
Really good.
You
It's
go
a
over,
giant
like,
river.
rinse
It's
the-
fucking 3/4 of a mile wide. Gonna
Rinse
contaminate
the
it.
rinse the
Hydrogens.
teeth, and you can like you look up and you can see Kaylin is like looking back and like just going like as hard as she can.
I'm gonna offer one of them to each of them.
Okay.
Thank you. Sorry, I just keep remembering the taste. It's disgusting.
You said it was like yay big.
Yeah, it's like 8
Like-
inches.
Like dagger
Yeah.
or knife sized.
Guy's gonna prestidigitation clean himself up.
Okay.
So
Alright. Just stand there on the edge waiting as Kaylin, like eventually, about 5 or so minutes later, pulls up to the shore and is like, "Are you all right? I mean, I don't know what help I was going to be, but I tried to get here as fast as I could. What is that? And she gets off of the boat and, like, heads over to this just goopy pieces of little rats, larger rats.
It was a lot bigger when it was alive.
Yeah, I kind of saw it from over there. You're all right? I mean, you look fine. You look dazzling, as always. Looking over at Kai, she's like,
I always
wow. Yeah, no, I can tell.
Eldon's gonna roll his eyes at that.
The other two, you okay? I mean, look a little sweaty.
We're okay.
We're fine.
All right. What was it? What happened?
do. The rats, they seem to meld together.
They
Okay.
did so after eating that. Is there any of that fruit like left? That tree?
There is nothing left. Like, you don't even actually know. The fruit doesn't appear to have fallen from a tree. It's just this, like, pile of stuff that was sitting there and looking like you look up at, like, the vegetation around. It doesn't even seem to have come from there.
It was some sort of fruit. Rats came from the jungle. Dozens, hundreds. And like Kai said, they all just kind of came together.
Rats?
I'm assuming
Okay.
that's not normal.
I mean, not this far out necessarily. Usually the rats are going to hang out around Mosswick or, you know, they come off the boats. And not to say that there can't be rats. I mean, rats, they live everywhere, but... Okay. Well, now I'm really nervous to... I mean, you've got two on the other side. She turns around and, like, waves to you. On the other side. And then looks at... She's like, I can only take two of you.
Take them. I'll wait.
Can you
I'll
turn
be
into a
fine.
river otter or something?
I probably could.
All right.
Eldon's gonna wait.
Do you want me to leave next with you?
I'd be sure.
I hand you my bag.
Be all like purring and whatnot.
Yeah, you just sleep in the bag.
Oh,
Here you go.
nice.
I'll leave you next.
I'm going to have one of you roll a D100.
Take care
Don't
of
roll a one.
Yeah, don't roll one.
Don't see that. That's an item.
79.
Part of me really wishes that you actually rolled a one.
So the two of you on the other shore, you're just kind of watching. You can see, like, obviously that there's chatter going about, but all you can hear is the roaring of the river on that end. Looking around on that side, it looks like you just kind of look off to the side. It's just more jungle out there. Nothing special. You're on the edge of this river, just sitting there waiting.
Were there any mango trees of any kind?
Yeah, there's some mango trees.
Of what variety, though? From what she had taught us.
Make a nature check.
Nature. Where are you? That is a dirty 20.
Hey. So you see, you actually go over and see one of the local mango trees, like kind of over the edge of the river, and based off of what Kaylin had told you, you recognize this to be the float fruit, which is the mango where if you eat it, you levitate off the ground for about 10 minutes.
Alright. Can I pick some?
Sure. Roll a d4 to see how many ripe ones there are.
I don't know how easy to get out of the river if we don't.
You could just float.
Alright, you get 3 float fruit.
3 float.
They work for about 10 minutes each. The two of you get onto the rowboat, and Kaylin looks at you and is like, I'm going to be back as soon as I can. I'm going full speed.
I'll be fine.
All right.
Eldon's gonna try to like lay low and hide. Try to be stealthy so
Okay.
nothing else comes up on him.
Roll a stealth check. As Kaylin heads off into the water.
Oh, okay, that's not bad. 19 plus 5.
Okay.
So he's gonna like do that, like take a step into the tree, like melt away.
Okay.
I thought I was gonna roll like
Homer
a
in the
fucking,
bush.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna roll like a 3, and I go to do that trip. Whap.
All right. So Kaylin, yeah, Rowan, it's just kind of going. Like you guys are all right.
Yes.
Yes, I've been better, but be fine.
Well, good news is if that friend of yours decided to keep following us, then once we're on the other side,
You just hear Kethra go,
she really can't. She can't follow us all that much more.
Nice.
I mean, she could always grab onto this rope and try to like walk her way across, but or swim, but it's not safe.
It's like to watch that.
Okay.
Does when Kai uses that spell that you just did to heal yourself, does that heal your wounds like
No.
like cure wounds does, like make them smaller? No, so you still look well. Okay.
His clothes are clean. He's just full of holes underneath.
He's not doing the best, but he's
I
been
just-
worse.
Selective visualize, that's all.
Well,
Precipitate cleans up the blood, but he's still got like gashes in his clothes and wounds. It just there's
Well,
no
what I meant is
blood.
like, you know how cure wounds, if you have a cut, it'll like.
Yeah, no. This is
False
just
life doesn't do that. False
no.
life
It's
will
just temp hit points. So you might see like a little glow, almost like the wounds are being held closed by something.
well, I'm glad the three of you were over there when whatever this thing was happened. We're gonna see a lot of weird stuff, I think. I am not a fan.
Yes, well, as long as we stick together.
That's the key. She like looks over your shoulder, and I don't see your friend, Eldon. I don't see
He's-
him anywhere.
He's resourceful.
All right. Well, hopefully when I get back there, he's there. 'Cause
Feed me, Seymour.
we don't really have time for funerals here. All right. So she continues on, bringing you to the other side of the river, and drops you off, and then heads back. So the four of you are on one side. Roll 1d100.
Did I get the? Oh, here it is. Bye. That's a whole bunch of things. What is it? 57.
All right. You just kind of wait on
It's
the
tough
other
'cause
side
this one
of the.
doesn't like do like as perfect as the other one does.
You wait on the other side of the river until you hear Kaylin's voice just shout out for you, like Eldon,
We'll step out.
and then she brings you across as well. So you
Eldon would actually offer to row the boat since she already did it.
a lot.
Yeah, this would be your 5th time. So
Yeah.
yeah. He's gonna like.
She was going slower by the time, like it took her a little bit longer.
Eldon's
to get
gonna
over
hop
to.
on the oars instead and row
Okay.
for.
She's like, yeah, I'll take it. All right, thanks.
He said chivalry was dead.
You're just going faster. You didn't like her speed.
Right, it would have been a lot longer if she had done it. So just going across the river, she's like, so first time in a jungle?
Yeah, it's not exactly what I'm used to, but
Yeah, it takes a little bit of getting used to, but it's nice. If we were under different circumstances, I would recommend, sometimes I teach a class how to identify different foods, and I don't know how well that's going to go over now.
you like look around the trees. I'm used to cold mountains and bogs and swamps, but I can definitely see the appeal of a tropical island like this. If it wasn't for the pigs, is it like a little
Yeah. This is going to be a real problem. Like I said, if Yamari Island isn't the safe place to go and vacation, and I don't know. I'm going to have to find a new job. That's life, I guess.
things change. But
That they do.
hopefully we can figure out the source of all this, and not quite sure what we'll do if we do find it, but maybe that hermit kind of sort of almost friend of yours knows a little bit more something.
Yeah, I have a feeling he'll be able to at least point us in the right direction of where the monkeys are. I think we're gonna have to convince him, but I don't know. These are dire circumstances.
These what are they? Wine-tailed langurs?
Mm-hmm.
How I know they're. I've heard everybody say. We've heard everybody say that they're blessed by Yamari, put here by Yamari. How exactly do they keep monsters and other predators away?
We're not really sure.
Do you just avoid them?
There's something about, it's just kind of been known that the monkeys had this magic, this gift that was given to them by Yamari. And I mean, I don't know how far out it went, but even the fisher folk down in Beachmere, they can go and do their fishing and nothing bothers them out on the water. I mean, you go out a little bit further and it's, all cards are out on the table, but we don't know. We just know that you aren't supposed to touch them. If they wanted to touch you, different story. You get a little blessing. But
We did have some experience with that. One of them liked our friend Ayla. Grabbed a necklace or something of some sort. Led us to.
oh,
Shit, I forgot her name. The girl.
that's how you found her.
Yeah.
Huh. The monkeys helped you find.
A lost
I mean,
child.
they were known for being good.
It's best we find them soon. Then.
Yes. Without them here, I mean, I've never seen these monsters that we've been hearing about. I mean, I have yet to even really see one. But it wouldn't be just them. Anything out there can come to this island without the monkeys here to ward them off. It didn't protect against, humanoids coming and being assholes, but in terms of like the island, it was safe.
And nothing like this has ever happened in the entire history of Yamari?
Never. Not that I know of. Not that's written down. Not that anyone speaks about.
Eldon's gonna think about that as he finishes rowing. Just kind of ruminating on that.
It's gonna be rough. Just stays quiet on the rest of the journey across. And when you finally pull up to the other side, she unhooks the leather strap that's kind of been holding it to that rope, and then begins dragging the boat off, into the brush. And then when she's all done, it's getting late. It's getting later. So she just kind of looks at you, is like, we've got only a little while longer. We should probably, trek in a little bit and then find a place. Maybe we'll get lucky. Find one of my camps.
You are the expert here.
All right, let's go. She heads in.
Before we leave, I just wanted to see if there are any little river pebbles, any nice little smooth looking ones.
Oh yeah, they are. Yeah, there's.
I'm gonna grab a few.
Okay. Yeah, you find a couple that are like these. They look like glass, and they're in different colors, like this very light teal, a kind of grayish blue, and then a clear one that just the three of them together just really very pretty little ensemble.
Couldn't remember if it was per full session or per restart. I was asking about the inspired action.
Yeah, it's per
We don't. It's per full session.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Don't break the movie magic.
So you all head into the jungles, the sleeping wilds, for a second time. I'm gonna have you roll another d10.
It's my turn, right?
Your turn. Cuba. Ayla.
What?
That's staying character, sorry.
That is 8 for my team.
I like that spell doesn't, like, heal your wounds. What Cure Wounds does.
That's a
Just
10.
10 hit points.
Nice. Yeah, that's cool.
Can't bring you back from the dead.
10?
Yep.
Well, it's false life.
Okay. So, you continue along, cutting through, hacking through. You all are getting tired at this point. The sun is starting to go down. The suns are starting to go down. You come to what looks to be almost like a clearing. Like, you can see there's a break in the canopy, and there's like a somewhat open, maybe only 20-30 feet across area where like the break is there, and it's got a lot of overgrown greenery, but you can kind of see more of the ground here. And as you're walking, Kaylin actually kind of stops you for a second and is like, this is different. And stepping forward, I would say Kethra and Iolite and Eldon. You step forward, and what you see across this clearing, very strange, like rotted trail. And it comes from somewhere off to, you're facing the east. It comes from somewhere off to the northeast and fades off into like the west, the direction that you had come, or vice versa. Like, you can't tell exactly which direction it's going. But it's this like rotted, slimy trail, probably 2 feet or so wide, and everywhere that it has touched, the vegetation, you see like beetles and other types of like small critters that have gotten caught in it, and they're just rotted away. Like, there is a trail that disappears off in both directions, kind of cutting across your path. Easy enough to step over, like you could just step over the 2 feet, but it's just this like slimy, black, green, red, oozing kind of nasty trail with this rotting smell of flesh and vegetation that's just kind of there.
Does it smell like the smell we smelled before the rats started eating?
I'll say make a perception check with, I'm going to say disadvantage because you're not like an animal.
Stay on the tall grass.
13. Oh no, sorry, 12.
You pick up similar hints, but really all you can get from it is like this rotted, putrid smell that's similar, but it's not quite the same. It's like in the family of rot smells.
Could I grab a tree branch, like a small piece, snap it off, just kind of like toss it into the slimy stuff, see what happens?
What kind of branch are you getting? Are you grabbing a living branch, like cutting a living branch, or
Yeah, like just,
like you reach up and cut?
Yeah, not
living.
like huge, probably
Yeah,
length
yeah.
like this, something with green leaves on it, just
Okay.
toss it in.
So you drop it on, and you see within 2 seconds it just kind of shrivels up. The life is kind of like sucked into this like green, and you see the branch kind of stays on the top, but the green leaves have just like, and they're rotting away
Melting.
on top. Yeah, like it's becoming part of that rotted trail.
Oh, don't step in it.
Kai wants to cast Detect Magic.
Okay. Yes, when you cast Detect Magic, you see actually on this, it is, you immediately see this like light glow, this aura. It has like a dark green kind of tint to it, like very light hue. It's much stronger than what you would have expected to see come off of it. Like, you don't know exactly what you were expecting, but it almost like, just like it's there when you detect this, cast Detect Magic, and it just glows across.
What school of magic? I think I can tell what school of magic.
This would be, you know,
A disgusting school of magic.
Slytherin
you
house.
actually cannot tell what this is. It's not falling into a box that you are familiar with.
That's strange. It definitely has a magical aura. But I'm not sure what kind of magic. Nothing like I've seen before.
Can I see which direction the, like, grass and ground, like, if something rolled through here, like, if it rolled this way, would the grass be, like, folded down like that, or folded down in the other direction?
You can make a survival check. On the surface, it's difficult to see because anything that it appears it has touched has like rotted into the path, the trail.
17.
You, looking at this, can tell that it is indeed coming from like the northeast direction. Like, looking at the way that the leaves on surrounding things have kind of matted down, and is heading towards the river, like in that direction, but more southwest.
Not the direction we came, but just like...
Yeah, not the direct. Deeper into the jungle. Deeper into the jungle.
It is heading that direction. I lost my accent. Yeah, probably best we try to avoid whatever this is.
The slime reminds me of. You gonna see
I
something?
was just saying agreed.
Yeah, the slime reminds me of rock snails and slugs from back home, but they're never this big, and they never do that.
I don't ever want to find out what did this. I would just like for the monkeys to be found, and it goes back to whatever level of hell it came from.
Agreed.
The good news is we can just kind of step over it. It's not going in the direction we're going.
Best continue on our way then.
Should we so keep our eyes open in case we see any more of this snail trail, as Eldon put it.
Episode name.
Eldon
Snail
didn't,
trail.
Eldon didn't quite put it that way, but he understands why you may think so.
I'm just
Alright,
picturing a
let's,
giant Gary.
That's
now
gotta
from-
go up that.
Snail Trail's not that original. It's just immaturely snickery. Hey, come on, that is
Nope.
for that is for gold standard euphemisms.
Well, let's
That was funny enough, I guess not.
step over the trail and keep going. This is not probably where we want to. This would have been a good spot, but not anymore.
Perhaps a tree.
Well, I've got camps on the ground.
You fall out of trees.
Yeah, you get run over by giant snails on the ground.
Here. Let's go this way. I know roughly where we are.
Kai's just gonna keep his detect magic up. 'Cause
Okay.
I can cast it at will.
Among, I mean, you do see besides just that, there are like little things flitting around that emit like very, very, like nothing. The thing that you catch from keeping your detect magic up is little auras of things around, little, like a little bug will go by and there's like something magical about it. Nothing
bugs.
is as bright. What?
I said magic bugs. That's really cool. Like I want one. like a
You
magical
see,
firefly.
like you do see there's a hummingbird just zips by and you see this like very, very faint, like little pink light that goes along with it. But nothing is as bright as what you've just kind of passed.
Just imagine your vision as like an acid trip with all the colors. You see like all these like little like bright things going by. You know what I mean?
To me, it's more like detective vision from the Arkham games.
Oh yeah.
So everything's almost a little bit muted, but then things that are magic actually like glow, like almost like it's an
glow
80s.
to him.
Anything magical that you have on you is glowing slightly. I'm going to have you make a perception check.
Ooh, 7.
I'm going to text you something.
Ooh, secrets. Because I was saying Kai's just having it up, just looking all around now that he knows that the trail.
Okay. Yep, you kind of looking around.
All I can think of when I hear this is in Jurassic Park when the tour vehicles are in front of the T-Rex paddock.
By the calm before the storm.
That's when that little noise kicks in. I know the movie so well. I like see. I can hear Richard Kiley's voice in my head, like talking. You know what I mean?
Gonna try to tempt the Rex.
That was a terrible goat noise, but you get the point.
What are they doing with the goat?
So
And now, ladies and gentlemen, our reenactment of Jurassic Park.
I sent it to your
You
Discord.
never had lamb chops?
Gotta fill the text.
I have to be a vegetarian. Dude, I could quote. Yeah, I could do literally the entire script.
Okay, so continuing on. Takes another. You probably trek for about an hour. The suns are setting, but eventually you see Kaylin's like, awesome, found it, and she like takes you on this like little side path thing, and eventually you come to this half natural, half kind of man-made structure of like large leaves that have been cut and kind of pulled down. There's a little campfire setting there, just like the stones that are around, and you see like she shuffles in. There's plenty of space for all of you.
Is there any vines on top of that building?
Vines? Probably. Yeah, holding stuff together.
Eldon's gonna draw a bow and fire a shot at it.
Okay. Well, you'll probably hit it. So you like you attack the building, and
And it falls down.
you hit it, and like Kaylin comes out. She's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" And she looks up. It's like, "Is there something up there? What's going on?"
We had to be sure.
Had to be sure of what?
The last time we came across buildings in the jungle, it tried to eat us.
I can assure you that my building is non-sentient. Please don't attack my building.
This doesn't look like the ruins we encountered.
No,
right?
no,
This
it's
is
like a half.
It doesn't matter, Ella.
Man-made.
There's fucking
Yeah,
vines
I
on
was gonna
it.
say it's like
The
it's like
vines are like used to weave things in.
like
Elden's a-
like one of like the Indian like roundhouse things. Is that
It's like half.
Okay.
Like
It's
it's
a
not
building
fully...
and there's vines. Okay, that's all Eldon sees. You fired a shot. You get why.
Listen, I don't wanna have to make one of you sleep out here.
Don't pull it out. I'm telling you.
I know what you're talking about, the withered weeds. Withered weeds, but there's other things too, trust me. Crawling vines, there's all kinds of stuff. I would not make my home out of a vine style that's gonna attack me while I'm sleeping.
Apologies.
Trust me.
I apologize.
Accepted. All right. Well, tonight you can sleep here. It's not, we're in the middle of the jungle, so we're going to need to pay attention. Normally I would say whatever, but this will be the first time sleeping out here where I'm actually scared. It's a new feeling. In Yamari, anyway.
Would it be unwise to have a fire then?
That I don't know. I mean, I would say it's not going to get too So here's the thing. Once you get used to Yamari weather, you start to feel like it's cold at night. I don't know how used to it you are. Like, I get a little chilly, but I know it's not cold.
Well, I was thinking more along the lines that fire keeps beasts away.
It could. Have these beasts that you all have seen, do they seem like they would be influenced by fire?
Well, didn't the loud man say that the witherweeds were not affected by fire? There was something about fire with them.
Yes.
They liked
do
it.
not.
Don't use fire
Don't-
on
do
them.
not
But I don't know
burn.
if
Yeah,
that
with the
means
weeds
they're
you
like.
don't want to, because then it makes this like smoke, and then you inhale the smoke, and then you choke.
But
and
it
then
won't
they
draw
take-
them in per se.
No, the witherweeds
Just don't
are
use
not close. Like they're, unless I have missed something. Like they usually stay not around here. I've cleared out anything weird around here.
Okay.
It's been a little bit. The jungle grows fast, but I haven't seen witherweeds in this area.
No, I am fine. I do not need fire to see. So,
It might be best not to light one.
Okay.
Those creatures weren't scared of us at all. So, who knows, it might draw them in.
very well.
All right. Well, it's getting a little late. You might want to break out your rations and whatever you've got to eat. I would say I'd go get us something, but if anything's got, I mean, I heard the pygmy boars had tentacles now. I'm not, first of all, interested in fighting one, because I don't fight them. I just hunt them and I kill them. And second of all, eating that. I'm not interested in eating that.
I do not think there would be any mistake to whether something was possessed, I guess, for lack of a better word. But
Yeah.
yes, being cautious is probably best.
All right. Well, until the suns go down, we can just kind of hang out and have a really uncomfortable conversations with each other.
Sounds like a wonderful time.
Yeah.
If we're going to take at the very least a short rest,
You can.
well, we don't know what the night's gonna bring, so I'm going to suggest a short rest. And if we are going to take a short rest, for your benefit, I will do the Song of Rest.
So are you taking a short rest or are you taking a long rest with the sun's going down? Because those are two different things.
I'd say probably we're here
Well,
for
I
the,
thought
we're here for the night.
We're here
though.
for the night, but it's not night yet.
How much longer do we have until?
Well, once you guys get settled in, I mean, it would probably be another hour or two before the
Alright.
suns go down, and then you can, but you can start your long rest whenever you want. It's up to you.
I'll save it then.
I'm just asking, just clarifying. 'cause
It
you
only
can
works
do
for a short rest, so.
short rest. Okay. What I will say, if you're gonna do a short rest, I'm gonna make you roll. If you're not gonna do a short rest, then I'm not gonna make you roll. If you're gonna do a long rest, then there's no roll. Then I roll.
I mean, it's
There's a
weird.
lot of
like-
rolling, but.
Yeah, I mean, I figured it was a
Either
long
roll
rest
on my
because how can we take a
encounter
short
table or-
rest and then
Well, I didn't
immediately take a
know
long
because
rest
because
after
the
that?
day wasn't over yet. We weren't like, all right, take out your fucking sleeping bags and crawl in. Like, yeah. So I'm like, if we
get attacked in this next
if we
hour.
get attacked within the next couple of hours before we get a long rest, then and we don't get a long rest. That's why I was thinking short rest. But
We'll lump this into our long rest because we only need to sleep for 6, right?
Yes, you need basically uninterrupted kind of 6 hours of sleep.
All right, so we have an hour of chill time.
Well, that's
and
fine.
6 hours of rest.
Song of Rest only works for a short rest, though.
It's up to you. I'm just letting you know what the.
It's just an extra 1d6 that you can add to your hit dice if you watch me perform.
So what are we doing?
Eldon's,
It's up to you guys.
Eldon's plopping down next to a rock and just sitting on it,
Okay.
watching everybody else. If you start to shimmy or do the robot or some shit, I don't know.
I learned this in the city. From a man on a boat.
I want to make some. I'm gonna make some good berries.
Okay.
Welcome to Goodberry. Goodberry.
So you have
That
to
joke
find
was
them.
right there. How did we not see
Okay.
that?
You
God.
have to find berries.
It says they appear in my hand.
I thought you had to find berries first. And
It
then
says up
No,
to
no,
10
yeah,
berries appear in your
Manifest
hand
berries.
Yeah.
oh.
and are infused with
Yeah, 'cause
magic
that's also
for
a random
24
spell.
hours.
Oh, okay. So then you can just do it.
All right.
Maybe I was thinking of a homebrew thing because good berries are OP, but that's okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna make.
Should we take the short rest?
Yeah, I don't know what you all do.
I don't
Are you
know, I
doing
don't
short
know.
rest?
Let's just do a short rest around the fire before it comes time to
Okay.
go into bed.
I'm gonna give you all a good berry. So you got 1 hit point for an emergency. That lasts 24 hours.
Well, we don't have a fire, but
The hit point lasts for 24 hours or the berry itself?
The berry,
Oh, okay.
and thus the hit point within the berry exists.
You giving one to Kaylin?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I like
Just
that.
like,
And
oh,
thus
thank you.
The hit point.
alright, I'm going to, if we're taking a short rest, I'm taking out my pan flute
Okay.
and doing a dance to, like, because pan flutes aren't super loud, just like a. Anyways, so.
No, please continue.
The hypnotic tones.
Gonna do a little dance. If you
Flute Jam 6. Those old Invomer.
if you are spending one or more hit dice, each creature that can hear or see me perform regains an extra 1d6 hit points.
Nice. I will take it.
So anybody that was bit by a rat monster.
I think there's only the one.
I was gonna say,
I kept
we
missing.
can't-
I missed.
No,
Oh, I
I'm
thought
the
you
only
got hit
one.
too.
No,
Oh,
No,
wow.
I'm
I
the only
missed
one.
so many. I could have taken down everybody on that side of the. I could have. I was nervous.
I'm back up to max.
Okay.
The dancing calms the nerves.
It is soothing, especially after the day we've had.
Is it still light out?
At this point, no. It would be like if you weren't in the jungle, it would be light, but because of just the canopy and the suns have gone.
Oh, so if I went out to try to look at the sky, I can't see it, can I?
Well, let me make a roll to see what the weather's doing for you all today. And maybe you would be able to see. So let me just grab the weather. How about roll me a D100?
Someone pass the
That's gonna
D100?
happen on your short rest. This will be the roll.
Thunderstorms rolling.
Oh god. This, it's like on an angle.
Oh god, minis!
Oh god. I would say 51. Looks like it isn't.
So, you could definitely step out. So if you step out and just kind of look, peeking through like little bits of where the canopy opens up, you can see there's a little bit of like a light cloud cover. So it gets really difficult. Like every once in a while you can see a little shimmer like kind of poking through, but the clouds are moving and like blocking the stars. What you can see, because I've been paying attention and keeping what my rooms are doing, in the sky on this evening, which is the 7th, the next day, you guys left on the 7th of Glee, right? Or was it the 6th?
I thought it was the 6th.
You left on
I think it was
But I might be wrong.
6th, because I think the 5th was the
the 5th is
final.
when everything went down, and you guys left the next day.
The 6th, yeah.
So it is, you can see that Naklir, which is the smallest and youngest of the siblings, is about halfway. So, I forget what that's called. And then halfway, like, it's coming to be a full, so whatever that celestial term is.
Gotta ask
Waxing or
Ben
waning or
and
something.
Mount Gibbous.
Yeah, it's
You gotta ask the boys. I'm sure they'd be able to tell you.
It's like half
Waning gibbous.
full or
Yeah, like-
something. I forget. I could go click on the thing and it'll tell me. Meanwhile, chaos is the opposite. The other half is kind of moving away. Like the darkness is starting to take over on chaos. The Phelan and Isvian, the blue and purple moon, is also about halfway. Like Naklir. And Iara is waning gibbous. So just a very slight sliver that you can see that the darkness is coming over. So just very, very light sliver of Iara can be seen up in the sky, the white
Which one's my moon? I keep forgetting.
Iara.
Okay. I'm gonna write that down.
Forget.
So did she step off by herself?
Not too far. You can still see Iolite's silhouette, kind of maybe 10, 15 feet, just in an area where she can see the... Kaylin would not let you go any further than that.
I don't want to go anywhere. Just far enough to see the sky. But I do have like my like notebook and stuff, and I'm just like gonna jot that down for myself.
Okay.
Eldon's gonna actually step over and look at the stars too.
Okay.
If there's room in
Yeah. You're mostly looking at clouds, but every once in a while you get a little glimpse. And more so that you kind of like, the moons are scattered throughout the sky. There's no real... You heard a long time ago that there was an order to them before Ina and Yol went silent. The moons moved in a specific rotation, and it was, you could tell what was going to happen, like based off of where they were in the sky, and in terms of like animal behavior and tides and all of that, and things just have not been the same in your lifetime.
As that's happening, as they walk by, can I possibly see if I can get a better look at something?
You can try. What are you trying to do?
Trying to see if maybe I can make out a shape or an idea.
All right, I'll say make an investigation check. Are you doing anything in particular to try to get a better idea, like shifting or?
Yeah, I'm gonna do the as they're
Little fake
walking.
stretch.
Yeah, no, as they're walking.
Road.
As they're walking by, gonna do that like just quickly, like shadow for
Okay.
just a couple of steps, just to kind of.
Sure. Yeah, make an investigation check.
That's not bad. 17.
Okay. I will text you what you see.
So many secrets.
Love
I know I don't like this whole texting thing.
Love the technology. Love it.
I know before.
You've
I've been
really
like,
got-
everybody leave the room.
Gotta play that game that we played. Alice is missing. That was
Oh yeah, you
fucking
were saying
intense.
everyone texting.
Holy shit.
Be funny instead of texting, she just folds a note and just passes it over like we're in school.
That works too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what was that called?
The
Mash,
cootie.
right?
No, the
The
fortune.
cootie catcher thing.
Is that what it
Is
is?
that
Mash
what
was like mansion.
Yeah.
Oh,
How
yeah,
many
yeah.
kids you're gonna have? What job you're gonna have? All that
Right.
stuff.
I don't think I ever heard it called a cootie catcher
No.
though.
Yeah, I don't think I ever heard of that either. I like that though.
I remember calling it a fortune cookie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what we
Yeah.
call it too.
Yeah.
Fortune teller, fortune cookie.
But and yeah, what was it? It was like choose a color.
Yeah.
Purple. PURPL. Choose a number. 1, 2, 3. Choose a whatever. Flip it
Choose
open.
another color.
What's your birthday?
Yeah, you pick the number and then you fold it out and you always had something
And then
silly
some
written
stupid
inside of
shit
it.
written
Like
inside.
you have a crush on
Yeah.
Mike
Oh,
Menard.
you have a crush on? Yeah. Who do you have a crush on? And one.
Actual person from our high school.
I was gonna say, see, we didn't-
Hopefully he's
So
watching.
they know that their names were in all. Well, those twins know.
Oh yeah.
And
They're
also
in
have to
everyone.
keep the twin theme. So
See,
twins.
girls in,
Yeah.
at my middle school and high school. Well, actually, I didn't do that in high school. Middle school and whatnot. Always did it with like, you like the smelly kid or whatever. It was always something mean.
Oh, we had specific names. So yeah, as they walk by, you kind of do a little incognito. I don't know what the fuck word I'm looking for. You do some shit and you can see stuff.
I see something.
I see how empties. Cobwebs.
So the two of
Come on, he
you,
knows a movie.
the two of you are standing
Drop Dead
out,
Freddy, fucking classic.
out looking up at the stars, while the rest of you are under the canopy. Are you doing anything?
Just keeping an eye on her.
Just watching.
Yep.
I'm like in the zone. I'm like
Watching her
drawing,
watch the stars.
noting, drawing.
And then scanning a little beyond her, because presumably I can see a little further.
Yeah, without the fire, you can see like a little bit beyond. Yeah, 60. But you know, you can see that the brush begins to fill in, and the leaves, and there's a little bit of a breeze. So it's one of those nights where you're looking out, and it seems peaceful and calm, but also like a little bit anxiety inducing because things are moving and you can't tell like was that still before and something's moving it, or it's just the breeze. So you just kind of everyone's a little bit on edge. This is new territory. You don't go out into the jungle.
So you study the stars?
I'm like, I'm not even gonna look up at you. Yeah.
And the moons too?
Yeah, you know, I've been trying to keep track of them because they just like. I like patterns, and they just don't seem to have any, but I wonder if, you know, eventually maybe I'll pick something up.
Crack the mystery?
Among other things.
Back home, on some of the highest peaks, you can't stay up there for very long, but you can get up high enough where you're actually above the clouds. And it's so clear you could see every star in the sky and all the moons. It's really something.
It's been really nice. I miss being able to see them so well. Where I lived, where I studied, we were in an observatory, so it was just the best view. We were at the highest point. We had just. I really miss it there, but you know, I do the best with what I can see now.
Well, I'm sure you'll make it back, though. You'll get to chart the stars and all that good stuff. He starts to get really nervous. He didn't expect this conversation to go that long, so he started to get fidgety.
I'm sure you'll get back there.
Before you know it.
Is that how you learned to do the star thing? I'm not sure what it's called. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's sort of new. It's something that people there where I studied could do, and I hadn't quite figured out. And then through all of my, you know, charting and drawing and sketching, I was able to connect the dots finally. On one of them.
So it was something to see. It was really something.
And to describe it a little bit in more detail, because I did some research after, she almost looked like a living constellation. So it was like all the joints and areas of her body were star points, and then there was like the rest of her was kind of like a glow. So when she like pulled back in the bow, it looked like if you could envision what Orion in our star system, like if it were to take shape, that's what, like all of the little points were glowing as little star joints and areas.
That is not what I pictured. I was picturing Infinity, I think is his name, from Marvel Comics. Like, he's in the shape of a person, but
He looks like space.
he looks like space and stars, like inside the shape of a person's like
Combine them
human
both.
body.
Combine them both.
It's kind of like, yeah, you can, the way it's described in the source material is that it's, the way that I pictured it anyway, is like the constellation appears on their person somewhere, and then they take form of the constellation itself.
You looked like the archer is up in the sky
Oh, he's one of my favorites. I'm gonna flip back to my book and I'm gonna show you.
You like arrows too?
Oh yeah, now you're speaking my language. Okay.
Reaching for anything you can, dude. Have you never been an incompetent flirter ever?
To this day.
It's like this is sort of her like hyper fixation. It's like you just tapped into that like, ooh, all right. Like, so I'm like flipping back through the pages and I just find like a sketch that I did of like that constellation and sort of like you can see like the date and there's like a lot of notes and illegible things sort of all scrawled on there, but you can see the constellation there.
Eldon's gonna like look at it. It's perfectly placed. When I was on the high peaks, this is exactly what it looked like.
Yeah, I know.
It makes Eldon miss home. Yeah, well, all right, well, I'll leave you to it. I'm sorry I bothered you. I just wanted to see the sky too. All these trees. I'm not used to this. I'm used to open skies and cold weather, not heat and mud and trees hanging over my head all the time.
Yeah, I always feel when I'm with the sky, I feel like more like I'm home, and then times like this, I feel a little bit lost. But maybe we'll have a clearer night soon.
Yeah, and we seem to have a good group. So if we're all lost, we're at least lost together. That's something, I guess.
We're not lost. I know exactly where we are.
I forgot they were that close. God,
How far away are they
Eldon
from
didn't-
everybody?
They're only like 15 or so feet.
So
Okay.
Adam is realizing that actually everybody in the group just heard all of this now. Well,
Like I'm sitting
He's like-
cross-legged on like a
yeah.
like a
So
little
Eldon looks
boulder.
over his shoulder and realizes everybody's like right there because he was like lost. What he was talking to her for a second. He's like, "Oh, I enjoy the rest of looking at the sky."
I slam it shut and walk away.
Eldon,
Not angrily, just sort of like
Eldon just like
kind of obliviously.
Eldon just kind of like kicks the dirt a little bit. He's like, fuck. Gee golly whiz. So, then he'll walk back and sit on a rock or whatever.
Okay.
He understands how badly he's flirting, though. He senses it. Especially when he probably looks back and sees a look like that. That look. That
She
one. That's the one. That's the one.
Any other discussions?
I'm just sitting there. I still have the pan flute out, and I'm just like
Can you play a
light.
harmonica?
I don't know how to play pan flute. I just have it, and I'm proficient with it. So I'm just like, and it's too tired to dance. So I'm just
Just make your tail dance. Just your tail. Imagine Ayla with an ocarina.
that's my tail.
It sounded like Numa. Was it Numa? The way you were doing that beat?
No, that was Lamba de Reggae.
Oh,
If we're gonna be taking a long rest, Kai is gonna volunteer himself and Eldon for first watch.
Okay. Kai and Eldon, first watch. Everyone else is going to bed.
Eldon's gonna be,
Apparently, we're being put to bed by Papa Kai.
Eldon looks very surprised. Oh shit!
He's
okay.
like, we're going to bed now.
Lay down, or it's tears before bedtime.
Okay, so yeah, everyone else gets ready for bed. Bed's down. Kaylin gives Nyx a little scritch, if possible. It's like, all right, just yell if you need anything, if you see anything.
Well, you'll hear us.
I hope
And Eldon's
so.
gonna walk to one side of like the clearing.
Okay. All right, you all go to sleep, except for Kai and Eldon.
Kai's gonna walk right behind Eldon.
You may roll on a stealth check. Do I know you're there?
Is he performing a ritual?
I was gonna say, am I gonna look at the stars and you're gonna want to stand next to me like I was with her?
He's just gonna wait till we're a little bit far enough and
Be so bad.
and purposely make him comfortable enough to turn around. Like,
Is everything okay?
hi, I have a question to ask you.
I may have an answer for you.
Have you murdered anyone lately?
Who starts a question like that? Like, where did you get those pants? They're nice.
Did you kill anybody this week?
That's a question.
That's not an answer.
The answer would be no. I'm not a murderer.
So then that's not a head in your bag.
No.
So it's an egg.
It's something. And that's none of your business. That's what that something is.
That's very dangerous.
I'm just not gonna say anything.
It's called a bong, where he comes from.
So, you just get quiet. Okay.
They stare out at the woods.
As soon as Eldon looks at him, can I get a wisdom saving throw?
What are you doing? What are you
I
saying?
am going to say, you can trust me, and my voice kind of elongates.
Fucking with party.
Charm person.
That's if you want to read that out to everybody, please.
That's a nat 20.
Wow.
So you hear.
I don't think in 3 years you've ever rolled a high
No,
wisdom
wait.
saving throw.
So
You
that's,
hear-
that's a 21 technically.
You hear Kai's voice, kind of very strange tone, and it kind of like wriggles into your ear and like then out the other side. And you, even though you're not, at least I picture it in my head, you're not looking at him. You're just kind of like, I'm a kid, and if I don't answer you, it's gonna go away.
So what exactly did you say?
I just said you can trust me.
If you ever try something like that again, I'll decide that I can't.
That was his
Yeah.
anger rolling down the street.
Jungle moped.
I'd advise you don't try that again. Okay.
And don't ignore me.
What's in my bag is my business and my business alone. Unless you've got something that you'd like to share. In the interest of getting to know each other.
It looks like an egg the size of a head.
That's not a head.
There's only a few things that are that size. I just want to know, are you bringing danger with you?
No. If I thought I was a danger, I wouldn't be here. I don't want to put anybody in danger. That's not my goal. I'm here trying to help. Help people. Help you all.
I believe you.
That's good. So I can sit back.
If you're smart, you won't trust me. Kyle, walk away.
I'm very sorry, but you said that in such a low tone. I literally heard the words "trust me," and I'm not sure what came before that.
No, I said, if you're smart, you won't trust me.
I won't trust you. Okay. Eldon's not going to respond. He's just going to kind of think on that and
Okay.
stare.
Your 2 hours goes without any issue.
Well, good. Except for that.
You guys kind of stay away from each other. You're just like watching awkwardly.
Kyle give him a wide, let him stay as far away as he wants, but
Okay.
Kai's not avoiding him.
You hear sounds throughout your watch, but nothing that comes close enough to be worrisome. Who's going next?
We will. Sorry.
Myself, it's okay.
Kaylin's
You've
here.
got Nix. You've got
Kaylin's
Nix,
there.
so it's okay.
Kaylin's here.
I just heard the little. Oh.
I was like,
So, the two of you take up next watch as Kai and Eldon. How about both of you make insight checks? Actually, no.
Do that head turn.
I would like to be Titus Andromedon as my...
I said I'd do that motion again, but I
Yeah,
didn't
you
throw my
better.
fucking neck out.
Follow musical tweetitis.
I know. I'm practicing all
I
that.
didn't know how to fucking play all that.
All right.
Coming out the heels of him trying to flirt with her, and then you coming up to him.
That's why I
We've
did it. I want
got...
Kai
Balance.
waited for a moment when Eldon
No.
was not.
Kethra would have noticed, but the two of you don't. So you wake, all you notice is that, like, they're as awkward as normal, just, like, kind of wake you up, and you get set up.
That's awkward as
And
shit.
you're on your watch.
I like that.
Kai, when Kai wakes up, he's gonna use as soon as he sees that Eldon's up, prestidigitation and make a small egg in his hand.
Just keep following him.
So, Ayla, Iolite, you are out there kind of watching. You have the advantage of seeing a little bit further, but it's the same deal of, like, the trees are shifting, and there is a little bit of a breeze that's going through. So, and you're not used to being an adventurer out watching for danger, either of you. So,
Are we gonna die out here?
That's a way to start a conversation.
It does not feel the same, though. It feels dangerous, and not a fun way, for the first time ever.
Yeah, like it's not just the plants.
No, the plants you mostly can handle. These abominations, the fact that it is the entire island. I just want to go home. Not back to Mosswick, but to Summerland. You have not been yet. You will, when we get close enough.
I'd love that.
You would love the stars from there. Better than the city. The city is very bright.
Yeah.
But when you look at the stars from the beach in my village, it is quite a sight. They go until the ends of the world.
Oh, I'd love to see that. Is your family there?
Yes.
Any of them?
Yes. Well, my mother's, the father's, brothers, sisters, they are all. I have not been in a year, probably. I think. Yeah, it has been about a year. But as far as I know, everyone is still there.
Well, if we make it out of the jungle, I would love to meet them.
We will make it out of this jungle. It is usually not. My policy is usually ask not, or not. I just made that up. If I may ask, and it is not too intrusive, the wound you carried. What caused that?
Well, it just happened when I was really young. I was only about 10. It was before I went off and studied with the assembly and everything. I just
I swear.
well, I did a lot of stargazing back then too. And one night I noticed some meteors. I thought meteors, kind of streaking through the sky, and I was really confused because I wasn't. Typically, I know and could predict when those sorts of things were coming based on all of my, everything I've been keeping track of. So I was lying in the field by my house, and the lights started to get bigger. And one of them, they made contact with Earth, and one of them made contact with me. But, it's old, it's like, it gets a little achy when it's gonna rain.
That weather's changing!
Really no big deal. I just wear my, my leather pauldron and kind of just to, keep it from getting worse, hopefully. But it never did seem to heal either, so, but it doesn't really, I kind of just forget it's there sometimes.
Does it grant you any gifts, like your star form?
Oh, no, all of the druids at the assembly could do that, once they sort of learned it, I suppose, and with enough practice.
Perhaps we can find a healer that can take care of it.
Yeah, I'd really like that.
That is far beyond my skill set.
Yeah, a lot of people have tried, but yeah, maybe. There's a lot of places I haven't been.
Have you sensed the stones while we have been traveling?
No.
I apologize that we have not gotten to that. Things did not go as they normally would go for the festival.
Oh, yeah. No, that's okay. That's probably dangerous, too. And I think even if I find the stones, find a stone, I'm not exactly sure what to do with it. So maybe that's for the best.
Well, I suppose if you feel one, just let me know. We will cross that bridge as we get there, is, I believe, the expression.
Okay.
What of our companions? What do you think of them?
I don't know. They both have had moments where they've made me feel really happy and hopeful, and then they've all had moments where they've really scared me. So I guess, in the middle, I think they seem good. What do you think?
I think they are very interesting. I'll leave it at that for now. I thought we were going to have to kill that woman on the path.
The woman on the path?
The one they called Felicia.
Oh, her, yeah. Yeah, I didn't like her at all.
No. They were not going to take Kethra. That was not going to happen.
Well, maybe Kethra really told her what for, and she's done now. Maybe that was enough.
That is wishful thinking. That one is not done yet.
It does sound like this cult is pretty persistent.
We are far away from any mainland. To come this far, to politely ask her to return is odd. No, that is not over. You know how I feel about that. We will not let that happen.
No.
Ayla, you hear, as you're just kind of, ending this conversation and looking at Ayla, you hear a little giggle that comes from somewhere off in the jungle, like behind you.
Can I look for it?
And turning around and looking, you just heard this little tiny and then you stop, look, and looking around, you just kind of stay quiet as much as you can with all of the noises of the jungle still happening. And you hear another little like
Do I look at her? Does she make any indication that she hears anything?
No. You hear nothing. But you see Ayla just suddenly like kind of looking behind where she was.
Okay.
Then you see a little tiny glowing light. Like flitting probably 20 feet away. Just like and the little giggle is coming from there.
Do you see anything in that direction?
Do I?
You don't see anything.
No. Do you?
Must be nothing.
Okay.
It's just continuing like 20 or so feet away. You can see the little glow like reflecting off of the large like banana leaves that are hanging over, and it's just like
I just kind of stand up and take like walk about 5-6 feet towards it.
for every step that you take forward, it kind of like goes back a little bit further into the jungle.
And then I just sit there with my hands on my hips for a minute, and then I walk back to where we were.
And when you do, it kind of comes back. So it's maintaining the same distance from you. It's just this little giggle that just keeps happening.
Yep, there was nothing out there. So if we keep talking, I just kind of keep looking in that direction every once in a while.
It stays there, just still kind of like watching. You're gonna ignore it.
Yep.
After about a long and annoying hour, it just kind of like giggles away off into the jungle.
You notice a slight sense of relief and a little bit of sadness.
You okay?
Yeah. It's been it is a long day.
You said it.
Yeah, it's completely gone.
It's gone. All right.
I think our watch is over.
And now our watch is ended.
So you all check in with Kaylin and Kethra as the shift switches over to the two of you, and you both go to sleep. And Kethra, you are up with Kaylin.
Yep.
Who just kind of looks at you and you're both kind of on the edge there looking out into the jungle. It's fairly like safe behind you. Like you're set up against an area where you wouldn't expect folks to come. It's like thick in the back. So you only have really one direction to be paying attention to. But she just is like petting Nyx down on one knee. She's like, so is this like your pet?
No.
Like a friend that you like cursed to be a cat? Or like someone that wasn't your friend?
No, he's just my familiar.
Oh, okay, cool.
But don't tell him I said just my familiar, or he'll like shit in my shoes later or something.
Well, I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah, thank you. Please don't.
So you feeling okay after? I mean, I'm not a big fan of killing innocent people. That person did not seem armed. I mean, I'm out in the jungle. What am I gonna do? Turn you all in and like? But still, I'm not. Just saying.
He's not innocent, so you have nothing to worry about.
I mean, did she have like weapons hidden, or did she have like special things she can do?
Probably. We'll leave it at that.
All right.
She's just someone you best avoid.
All right. Well, I mean, hopefully,
Because she won't think twice about killing you.
All right, good to know.
Absolutely. And Kethra just kind of walks around with Nyx, and just kind of like, because she has no social skills, and just like, okay, this conversation's over, to walk around the Nyx.
Okay. Galen's like, all right, okay, cool. She just like sits on a rock and then
Yeah, that lady we met in the woods. She won't hesitate to kill you.
She'll not hesitate, just walk away.
Oh, no.
she's just kind of sitting out.
Oh, kitty.
Pretty much, yeah.
So your watch goes without incident, except Kai. So you find yourself standing in this dark and misty void. And the sounds of the jungle you do not hear. There are way too many sounds all going at once. I can't turn them off. The only light comes from this distant figure that is shrouded in black. And you recognize her as the one that is constantly plaguing your dreams with her presence, the Raven Queen. But you cannot hear her clearly, just the whispers that surround you in this darkness. You see her face in your vision again, and once again, she kind of shifts out as if being pulled in another direction. But this time, you are not in this endless black void that you have been so used to. When her face shifts out of your periphery, instead what you see in front of you is that crystal. The crystal with the hilt of the sword that is jammed all the way down, glowing this kind of light coral pink, and all around is still the darkness. But there is your destination, and there is your focus. And this time when you look down, you can see yourself. You see your body, your hands, your coat. But you can still only hear the whispers from the Raven Queen saying something, as she always is, speaking to you, but you cannot understand. So she continues to whisper, and in front of you, you see the crystal, and you continue to walk, and you can feel your feet hitting the surface of the ground, although you can't see what you are walking on, until you find yourself standing directly in front of this crystal, directly in front of this sword. And you can see the rapier is like reflected from the inside. It's like a cloudy vision so the sword's hilt is there, and you reach out and kind of grab onto it, and effortlessly it just lifts out. Except what you are lifting is like a shadow, and the sword itself does not move, but the shade of the rapier begins to form, and you pull out this long, sleek rapier. It looks as though it is made of silver, with these glittering gems along the hilt, and a black leather that adorns the hilt. So you stand there, like, looking at this sword, but then looking at the one in the crystal, and you can see that it's a bit shorter. It's not as refined as the one that you see. But the edges are razor sharp, and you just kind of like slide it along your hand. It draws a little bit of blood as you go, but you don't feel anything. And in that moment, you do hear a whisper that you understand. And the Raven Queen's voice, as she says, "The bloodletter's shadow And standing there in front, the sword in the stone and the other one in your hand, you don't notice as suddenly there's this like smell that just hits your nose. This like putrid, rotting smell, but one that is oddly familiar to you. And standing next to you, suddenly beside you, is this young man, probably about no more than 20 years old, very young. His face is pale and gaunt. He's got hollow cheeks, sunken in eyes that seem to like glow ever so slightly. His hair's all matted and greasy, and he's got just worn and torn clothing and tattered shirt that's like barely covering his body. It's just like a almost like a skeleton walking. His hands are twisted into these long claws, and his fingers end in these like razor sharp nails. And as he's standing there looking, like there's this moment your heart begins to beat fast as it's standing right there and then turns its head to look at you and just kind of, his eyes looking through you. Like it doesn't see that you are there, but it's sniffing the air where you are. And looking directly at you, but not. You see it suddenly just and slams its claws out in the air in your direction. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh boy. Oh, that's a 9.
Okay. You take 4 points of psychic damage. And you wake up yelling in the middle of this quiet little glen. The suns are just peeking up, and all of you are startled awake, except for those who are on, Kaylin is kind of like doing last shift here. As Kai just sits up, yelling, and in his hand is a black-hilted rapier that is glowing with red gems as he just kind of sits up looking at all of you.
This motherfucker's worried about your bong in your bag.
That's where we will end the session.
Oh my god.
And you are all level 3.
Yay! I'm not as useless anymore.
Yay! I was like, I'll throw you the shark. Celebratory. Celebratory.
So squishy.
They're fair game anytime they're stressed out.